Having spent more than 10 years under the rule of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his party, the BJP, Indian Muslims have repeatedly been othered, treated as some kind of enemy within. The current crackdown in the northeastern state of Assam, the forced deportation of Bengali Muslims there, Indian citizens, to neighboring Bangladesh, is just the latest manifestation of that. And with the effects of the crackdown spreading well beyond Assam, Muslims all over India have good reason to panic, to lie low, to watch their words.
If a person speaks Bengali, so this poor working class person has to prove to a policeman that he is Indian. And the policemen very often, they carry prejudices of their own. And so we've seen a number of bona fide Indians being dumped into Bangladesh. And the result is migrant workers in cities like Delhi, like Bombay, in states like Gujarat, Orissa, have fled back.
It was very often ordinary citizens who are Bengali, and I think he's a Bangladeshi immigrant. And the cops come and they take him away. And the assumption was that all immigrants are illegal immigrants, right? Now, the axe invariably falls on Bengali Muslims because the immigrants from Bangladesh are considered to have...
Years now, the Modi government has been nurturing that discontent. At an election rally in 2018, its Home Minister, Amit Shah, called Bengali Muslims termites, which is as pernicious as it gets. As pejoratives go, however, infiltrators, the idea of unchecked illegal immigrants out to transform India internally, gets far more play.
Identifying millions of Bangladeshi infiltrators who have come into our country and purifying our land of the termites of infiltrators.
देश के किसी कोने से अगर आपने बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठियों को हटाया हो, कुछ किया हो इस मुद्दे पर तो बताइए.
Indian news anchors habitually justify the so-called verification process used to force Bengalis to prove their citizenship, while countless news channels delve into Hindu conspiracy theories about demographic replacement and Muslim birth rates.
देश के कई राज्यों में ये घुसपैठिए अपना डेरा जमाए हुए बैठे थे. इनकी तादाद भारत में इतनी है कि इन्होंने देश की डेमोग्राफी ही बदल डाली है.
A lot of outlets are presenting this story. These people are being put in detention centers or part of that verification drive. There isn't much questioning, okay, what is this based on? Why is this happening so abruptly? Because you so blindly regurgitate whatever is being said.
Pushing of certain narratives has desensitized Indians, and they have been beguiled into believing that there is indeed an enemy out there.
Those people who have infiltrated into our country are not coming here because of poverty, but rather with the intent of kind of conquering our country.
An us versus them narrative and an existential struggle. When you use words like termites.
Political narratives designed to divide electorates are more effective when they go beyond casting the other as the enemy, when they also convince voters, in this case Hindus, that they are being victimized. In a country where 4 out of 5 people are Hindus, that takes some doing, which is where India's unique media landscape factors in. It has more than 400 24-hour television news channels, far more than any other country, and most of them are dependent on government advertising revenues to keep them in business. The end result is a highly competitive news sector, channels desperate to outdo each other in backing Narendra Modi's BJP, which means they spread the Hindu victimhood narrative.
But time and again, Hindus find that they're taken for granted. They find themselves at the receiving end of derision or plain contempt.
But when examined, that notion of Hindu victimization falls apart.
Demographically, educationally, in all of these spheres, Hindus are dominant. So this idea of the Hindu being under threat is a fake idea. It's a creation of victimhood that has been encouraged by television channels, influencers, and social media, all of them saying the same thing, that the Hindu is under threat. That is where the maximum mischief has been done, the sense of continuous victimhood.
We're seeing this happen again and again, and it's only independent media, some conscientious YouTubers, my outlet Scroll, questioning power, questioning the government. Unfortunately, mainstream media has actually made matters worse.
To the point that the BJP and its supporters are now meting out what they call bulldozer justice. Bulldozers and excavators are being used to demolish mosques and the homes of so-called Muslim infiltrators, or Muslims suspected of committing a crime. And not just in Assam, but in cities like New Delhi and Mumbai. News anchors have jumped on board, providing play-by-play accounts of demolitions taking place, often with no due process, no proof of wrongdoing.
आज तक इस पर वक्त एक्सक्लूसिव तस्वीरें आपको दिखाता हुआ मस्जिद के ऊपर उसके सामने वाले हिस्से में जो अवैध निर्माण है उस पर पहला क्रेन चल गया.
That is what happens when politicians and the news outlets that do their bidding convince Hindus that somehow they are the victims in this story. They are liable to see the bulldozing of a Muslim's home as a form of justice, rather than what it really is.
This is a form of collective punishment that does not follow basic legal justice, has always been a part of the body politic in India. But we've seen a sort of shamelessness creep in. We've seen an explicit owning of that rhetoric. And the bulldozer is really a very, very ugly symbol.
Right? Why is there no questioning of this term? How can it be bulldozer justice? Why is it not bulldozer oppression? The framing of the story is so skewed and so problematic, and it is a result of years and years of dehumanization.
Has actually posed with a bulldozer. Now, the bulldozer has become a symbol of Hindu nationalism. So, the rhetoric, the narrative to demonize, to other the minority, the biggest minority community, the Muslims, and to spread Islamophobia continues.